Oh my god, I got placed in bronze, what the hell? Oh god, Valorant sucks. I'm gonna go play Counter-Strike where I can't be placed in bronze because it starts at silver for some reason. Mwah. Hopefully you don't sound like that, I imagine you don't. Hello, I am Josh's one voice amongst many talking to you from Spiker, and yeah, Ranks has been unlocked and a lot of people have been getting their placements done and then have instantaneously been whining about their rank. Well, first things first, ladies and gentlemen, do I have a phrase for you, and that phrase is, rank, of course, doesn't matter in the slightest. Now, all of this aside, it does tell us some interesting things, most notably looking at like where pro players or where very good players are placing in the rank system. They've generally been being put around platinum or diamond, sort of not in the highest tier ranks. It looks like it's very, very, very difficult to place in that highest tier unless you are a cheater with really anomalous stats, and then perhaps you might get into those super high tier placements immediately. This could be for a number of reasons. It could be just because there's a small player base. It could be because the system itself is leaning towards placing you in the lower ranks and then letting people spread out towards the higher ranks, effectively climbing and populating the higher ranks as they go. It could also mean that everybody in the beta is just a god and perhaps you're not as good as you think, but I prefer not to live in that world. I prefer to live in the world where, no, perhaps the median or the middle of the ranked curve, as you would see it in a lot of other games, isn't quite in the middle at the moment, and they are generally placing you a little bit lower. There's a couple of advantages to that, most notably after the placements. I've definitely seen this happen in Overwatch where people will place and they'll go, oh my god, I placed in diamond, I don't think I'm a diamond player, so I won't play ranked because I don't want to lose that rank. I've definitely seen that happen, and I've even felt that, or at least the impetus to do that at various points in my life where I get placed and it's like, oh my god, I'm in GM, I just won't play, I'll just let Decay handle that account or whatever and not care, and then yeah, you end up in a weird cycle of like being intimidated by your own rank. Placing people a little bit lower and going, well no, you can probably climb out of that, that feels like incentive to queue up to me, and that feels like overall kind of a good idea, but that one's more of a personal thing and kind of up in the air. But there have been a number of misconceptions about rank and placements in general. People get very, very involved mentally in placements to get very tied up, and it's a very, very self-esteem driven thing. There's a couple of things we'll talk about later in terms of how to handle ranked anxiety and how to handle ranked mentality, but overall, the big advice is don't worry about it, ranked can change, or rank will change. First things first, you need to understand how the ranking system will work. Valorant will operate on a skill-based ranking system. This means that just your wins and your losses are not what matters. It means it's going to look at your performance in those games, and it's going to try and justify or adjust how much you will go up and down based on your performance, not quite so much on perhaps just the straight ELO system or the straight sort of numbers on the other side. So if the enemy team is ranked incredibly highly and you're ranked lower than them, sure, you're probably going to be given a little bit of a boost because, hey, the system expects you to lose, but it's not the only thing taken into account. If you play extremely well, it will show through the system, and perhaps if you lose still, it will mollify or adjust the loss to have a minimal impact, whereas if you win, it will go, oh, hey, man, you really played well. We need to adjust the confidence in your rank. And this is the key to the Valorant ranking system, is that confidence. And there's a little blurb inside the game. If you load into the game, you go into career and you click on the rank symbol, you will actually see a little blurb at the top, and we're going to go through it, but it's mostly talking about the idea of confidence, so we'll explain that after taking a look at this. So first things first, winning and losing rounds has the biggest impact on your rank. Makes sense. If you win games or you win rounds, sure, yeah, you should be rewarded for that. You should never be penalized after winning a game. That would just be insane. Keeping allies alive and assisting in eliminating opponents through ability use or good tactics will help in early skill determination, but will decrease in importance as you play more matches. I really hope this sentence is true. As someone who plays a lot of Viper, I can tell you for a fact that it feels like a lot of the times people go, man, Viper's defending A, let's not go to A because there's a wall and a smoke and poison things, and I just can't be asked to deal with that, so I'm going to go B. And I don't get to play much in those rounds at all, and so yeah, I really hope that this is true, that being involved in the game, sure, will matter a lot, but just playing well and doing things responsibly will also matter quite a lot. Decisive games where you win many more rounds than your opponents will strongly affect your rank. Very close matches such as 13-12 will have a smaller impact on your rank. This is also true. In any good ranked system, you will end up with a 50% win rate, or around a 50% win rate, as long as the system isn't artificially inducing that somehow, which is sort of the forced 50 discussion. That's a whole other thing. We won't get into that at the moment. But if the system is doing its job, yeah, you should have way more close games than you have stomps, and those close games should not really adjust your rank too much, because clearly you're playing at around a level that you should be playing at. Seems fair enough. The final little bit of the blurb though is where my attention really goes, because this is like a mission statement. It's really just the first sentence. The second sentence I always trip over when I try and read, but we'll give it our best. It will always be more optimal to take risks and work with your team for the round-winning play. So get out there and show us what you see? I can't read it for some reason. Show us you have what it takes to be Valorant. Well, that last bit of the sentence is utter meaningless drivel, but the first bit is very important. It's a mission statement. It's an idea that they have, and I'm sure that in their own discussions internally they go, we really want to stick with this system. What this means is that playing the game and being involved in the game is going to be more important than sitting passively, for example, or just waiting out rounds, saving, preserving your KDA, running away from fights. You want to get involved. You need to be involved in the action, taking part, and doing things actively to be rewarded. They want to make sure that the rank system is not discouraging you from actually playing the game. This is something that skill-based matchmaking can do. It can induce very strange behaviors. I know when Overwatch was sort of going through a phase for a while, people were avoiding certain heroes. People really wanted to play Mercy for a while in Overwatch because for some reason she was getting a lot of extra ranked points, or at least it felt like it was boosting people's ranks a lot when Mercy performed well, and the game goes, oh man, yeah, you should be way higher than you are. So people wanted to play Mercy for that reason, just as an example of how skill-based matchmaking can induce weird behaviors. With this game, with everyone using the same guns, it should be a lot more muted, but you can definitely imagine circumstances where, man, getting ability kills is super important for your rank, so naturally you want to play Raze, who gets a lot of ability kills, rather than playing Jet, who gets ability kills with her ultimate maybe, or playing someone like Phoenix, who might not get very many ability kills, or Viper, who doesn't really kill people with her abilities. So you can really understand how those behaviors could manifest. Hopefully this is something they're keeping an eye on. I imagine it's not that important. The second thing I want to clear up is a couple of tweets from Riot Ziegler. He is one of the lead devs, and he has come out on Twitter trying to clarify a few things about how unranked relates to your ranked ability. And so he released a series of tweets. In the first one, there have been a lot of questions about how you are seeded in Rated. Your required unrated games, which you have to play in order to get access to Ranked, have an effect on who we place against you to determine rating. We then are quickly able to converge on the performance of your first few games in Rated to determine your rank. To dispel some myths, taking info from your unrated play, both performance and wins, only determines the types of players we think you should play against to get rated. Your wins and performance from there is up to you and what determines rank. Also, for a bit more clarity, rating is about who you play against and how you win/fare against them, not about how many numbers of wins you accumulate. As you play, you will see your rating change based on how well you master defeating similar or more highly rated players. So this is a big deal. Basically, it means that unrated information is not going to be used after your placements. All the unrated information does is go, we think that you are about at this level, we're going to test that with Ranked. And when you go into Ranked, that's when the game goes, you are playing seriously now, this is when this matters, this is when you should have in your head that yes, this is me playing at as well as I can, and trying to play well and trying to play to win, okay, now I'm playing seriously. Then you will play against a number of people in your placement games, and from there it will only take ranked information into account, which makes a lot of sense because in unrated you can try things, experiment, you might play around, you might be playing with friends, and you might not be playing as seriously as perhaps you would in competitive. This hopefully dispels a couple of myths about, oh man, you've got to treat unrated super seriously and it's going to pull all the info out of unrated constantly to determine where you will be ranked. If you play well in unrated, then sure, you will get a higher placement, but overall, it's only the confidence that is generated as you play ranked that will matter in the long term. In short, if you're playing an unrated, don't get toxic, don't get salty, it doesn't matter. Those placement games and that placement time doesn't matter, because all that matters at the end of the day is that confidence. Confidence is a simple idea if you are familiar with statistics or if you're familiar with anything like that. It's just basically the system's ability to go, we know you, or we know how good you are. It's not a difficult idea to say, well, if I've only played 5 games and the system goes, you know what, you're in silver, or if I've played 5,000 games and the game goes, you know what, you're in silver, which one has a more realistic idea of how well or badly I play the game, for example. This is important to understand because what it means is if you feel you don't deserve where you are at in your rank, play more games. Absolutely 100% play more games, because the system will figure it out in time. And if the system is tuned properly, it will know pretty quickly about how good you are. They probably are building at the moment ideas of, well, this is what an iron player looks like, this is what a bronze player looks like, this is what a silver player looks like, this is what a gold player looks like, and they will put you against what level they think is appropriate and then compare you to everybody else at around that level. If you outperform everybody, well, perhaps you should be in a higher rank, and therefore the confidence will go down and your adjustments in terms of your rank might go up. People at the moment are bouncing up and down levels and numbers in little areas constantly with wins and losses because they just don't have a big enough pool of players and info to know this is what a gold player looks like, or you look like a gold player. And this brings me nicely onto, I think, the biggest tip and what I will close on in terms of rank. And this is advice I give to everybody who I've coached in Overwatch, and trust me, it's a lot of people. Skill comes first. Rank comes after, and a lot of people get this backwards in their head. It's such a weird idea because people get tied up of, oh man, I should be in gold. Oh man, I think my rank is high. I think I deserve a higher rank. If you get better and if you improve and if you put meaningful change into your gameplay and work hard and do improve, you will see a change in rank. The improvement comes first, then the rank. And therefore, any time that you think you are below your goals or below where you're at, well, that's just time for you to get better. That's just time for you to improve. It's a mindset change, it's an idea change, but it is so important for people's health in terms of their self-esteem, in terms of their desire to play in ranked, is that ability to go, man, I think I should be in platinum in this game. I think I should be a platinum level Valorant player. I'm not at the moment, but I'll show that system. I will get there one day, and trust me, it won't be as hard as I think. Thank you guys for watching to the end. I've been Josh, as one voice amongst many, and this has been a look at the ranked system. I am interested to see how it develops, and as we get more info, we will try and outline the best ways to rank up, the best ways to approach ranked, all this kind of stuff, how to deal with ranked anxiety, because it's something I know that affects a lot of people, myself included a little bit. Sty not so much. Sty is relatively immune to it. Me, I get it a little bit, so I understand. It'll be an interesting thing to talk about in the future. Otherwise, yeah, I want to know what you guys think. How did you guys find your placements? Have you guys found that you placed lower? Have you placed higher than you expected, perhaps? Are you finding that you're adjusting constantly on the rank? And in my opinion, are there too many ranks? I think there's too many ranks. There's just so many ranks. Also, why are they numbered like 1 to 3? Why? It's the only system I've ever played where like gold 3 is better than gold 1. Just doesn't make sense. It's weird. It's weird. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop rambling. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Toodaloo.